Part 1. Booking a destination wedding venue.
You have some time to look at the questions.
Receptionist, good morning, Rosewood Wedding Estate. This is Emily speaking. How can I help you today?
Caller, bride hello, I'm calling from overseas. I'm planning my wedding in the United States, and I'd like to inquire about booking your venue.
Rezeptionist, wonderful. We'd be delighted to host your wedding. May I have your full name, please?
Caller, sure, it's Ananya Mehta.
Receptionist, thank you, Ms. Mehta. Could you tell me the date you're considering?
Caller, yes, we're planning for June 15th next year.
Receptionist, all right, let me check availability. Yes, that date is open. How many guests are you expecting?
Caller, around 120 guests.
Receptionist, perfect. Our main ballroom can comfortably seat up to 150, so that will work. Would you like the ceremony indoors or outdoors?
Caller, outdoors please. I really want a garden ceremony.
Receptionist, certainly. Our rose garden is a popular choice. Now, do you require catering as well?
Caller, yes please. Could you tell me about the menu options?
Receptionist, of course. We offer 3 packages: classic, premium, and luxury. Prices range from $75 to $150 per person.
Caller, okay, that sounds good. Could you also let me know if accommodation is available on site?
Receptionist, yes, we have a guest house with 20 rooms, mostly for close family. There are also hotels nearby for other guests.
Caller, that's great. One more question. What deposit do you require to secure the booking?
Receptionist, we ask for a 30% deposit, and the balance is due 1 month before the event.
Caller, perfect. Can you send me a brochure with all the details by email?
Receptionist, absolutely. Could I have your email address?
Caller, sure, it's ananya@gmail.com.
Receptionist, thank you, Ms. Mehta. I'll send the brochure and booking form today.
Caller, wonderful. I'll review everything and get back to you soon. Thanks for your help.
Receptionist, my pleasure. Congratulations, and we hope to host your wedding at Rosewood Wedding Estate.
Part 2. Description of a guided bird watching tour.
You have some time to look at the questions.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Everglade Wildlife Reserve. My name is Daniel, and I'll be your guide for today's birdwatching tour. Before we set off, let me give you some important information. The tour will last for about 2.5 hours, and we'll be covering a distance of 3 miles on foot. Please make sure you have water with you, as the weather is warm this time of year. Now, let's talk about the birds you can expect to see. This reserve is famous for the roseate spoonbill, a large pink bird with a flat bill. You'll also spot ospreys, which are impressive fish-eating birds of prey, and if we're lucky, we might see the rare snail kite, which is native to Florida. Along the way, we'll also point out smaller species, such as the red-winged blackbird and the American kestrel. Make sure to keep your binoculars ready at all times. Photography is allowed, but please remember not to use flash, as it can disturb the birds. If you don't have your own binoculars, we do have some available for hire at the visitor center for just $5. We'll stop at 2 observation towers during the walk. From the towers, you'll get panoramic views of the wetlands and, with some luck, see groups of white pelicans flying in formation. Finally, please note that the path can be muddy in some areas, so it's best to wear comfortable walking shoes. At the end of the tour, we'll return to the visitor center where you can visit the small souvenir shop and the cafe for refreshments. That's all for now. Let's get started and enjoy the wonderful bird life of Florida.
Part 3. Students discussing the difficulties of replicating an experiment.
You have some time to look at the questions.
Sarah, hey Tom, have you finished writing up our report on the memory experiment?
Tom, almost, but I'm struggling to explain why our results were so different from the original study.
Sarah, yeah, I know. The original experiment showed that background music improved memory recall, but in our replication, the effect wasn't significant.
Tom, exactly. One problem, I think, was the sample size. We only had 20 participants, compared to 100 in the published study.
Sarah, true, and most of our volunteers were our classmates, which means the sample wasn't diverse. The original study included people of different ages and backgrounds.
Tom, another issue could be the equipment. Remember, the original researchers used a soundproof lab, but we had to conduct our test in the library seminar room.
Sarah, right, and there were distractions, like people walking by and doors closing. That could easily have affected the participants' concentration.
Tom, also, I think the instructions we gave weren't clear enough. Some participants asked us during the test if they could take notes, which shows they weren't sure what to do.
Sarah, yes, I agree. Next time, we should write detailed instructions and even do a short practice run before starting.
Tom, definitely. On the positive side, though, I think we managed the timing well. Each participant had exactly 10 minutes to memorize the words, just like in the original study.
Sarah, that's true. And although our results didn't match, we still learned a lot about the difficulties of replicating psychological research.
Tom, exactly. And we can emphasize that in our conclusion, that replication is important but also very challenging.
Part 4: The impact of global initiatives in reducing carbon footprints.
You have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we'll be discussing the impact of global initiatives in reducing carbon footprints. Now, a carbon footprint refers to the total amount of greenhouse gases produced by human activities, typically measured in carbon dioxide equivalents. Over the past 2 decades, international organizations have developed strategies to lower emissions and promote sustainable practices. One major initiative is the Paris Agreement of 2015, where nearly 200 countries committed to limiting global warming to below 2 degrees Celsius. Since then, many nations have set national targets for reducing emissions. For example, the United States has invested heavily in renewable energy, while the European Union has introduced stricter regulations on industrial pollution. Another significant program is the carbon trading system, often known as cap and trade. This system allows companies to buy and sell permits for emissions. It creates an incentive to reduce pollution because businesses that cut emissions can sell their excess permits to others. In addition, renewable energy projects have grown rapidly. Solar and wind power now provide over 30% of electricity in some European countries, and costs have dropped dramatically, making them competitive with fossil fuels. Transportation is another key sector. Several countries, such as Norway and the Netherlands, have announced plans to phase out petrol and diesel cars, replacing them with electric vehicles. Governments are also investing in public transportation to encourage people to drive less. However, while these initiatives have made progress, challenges remain. Developing countries often face difficulties in balancing economic growth with environmental protection. For instance, many still rely on coal because it is cheap and readily available. On a positive note, individual actions are also contributing. Simple steps like reducing air travel, recycling, and eating less meat can significantly lower a person's carbon footprint. Collectively, these small actions can make a big difference. To conclude, global initiatives have achieved notable successes, but continued cooperation between governments, industries, and individuals is essential. Reducing carbon footprints is not just about large-scale policies, it requires a combined effort at every level of society.
Now it's time to check your answers. You can pause your video.